What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are working on V-Tune's Audi R8 build. So as you know, in the last video we did do a little bit of body work on this thing and we got it pretty much ready for paint, but there's still some we need to get into. And this thing was wrapped matte black, so there is a lot of residue all over the car, and we've been getting a little bit off, and I sanded a lot of it, but it's just been getting clogged up in our sandpaper. So I had to buy more adhesive remover, so we got that. We're gonna go ahead and get this door all cleaned up. We'll get it all cleaned off of there, and then we can start prepping it. We just have to finish up this door, and then we're gonna go over the hood once more, and then also over here. We do have a lot more to do as well because there are shiny spots, and I want everything to be sanded perfectly. I really don't want no issues in the future biting us, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll get this door all cleaned off, and then we can start sanding. All right, guys, check this out. We have the R8 in the booth. We got everything sanded super nicely, as you can see. No shiny spots. We're making sure that everything is really good and the paint will stick very nicely. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the plastic on the car, and then we will go ahead and start trying to pick out the color. Even though everything is blended out, we want it as close as possible because this bumper is going to be touching this quarter panel. So we're going to get the paint code. We're going to get the paint as close as we can. Maybe we might have to tint it or find a different variant. A lot of times once we scan the car and stuff, it actually even pulls up a paint code off of a completely different car just to find the best match. So we'll go ahead and play with that as well. We'll kind of show you that process as we do it, and then we'll go ahead and start spraying this thing. We're going to have to seal all the body work. Sealer is kind of like a form of primer. It's a wet primer that goes on, and it's just really nice to bond all these different surfaces. If you don't use sealer over time, once the car sits in the sun, then you have issues and the different surfaces start to ring up because the paint isn't strong enough to hold the two together. So once we seal it, this surface is going to be held to that surface, and we won't have any issues in the future, especially since it is sanded a little bit through on the bodywork, which isn't really a big deal. I already blocked and reprimed this, so it's straight and there's plenty of primer on there. A couple little spots isn't going to be a big deal, especially when we seal it. So let's go ahead and get this plastic on. Let's get this thing covered, then we'll clean it and start finding a color. All right, guys, check it out. Victor absolutely killed it on this car. Everything looks beautiful, but unfortunately, we got to repaint this hood. We were fighting this issue with that adhesive. We used that adhesive remover, which it is solvent-based, so I know it's not from that. And I use that adhesive remover all the time on paint jobs, especially when I take off emblems, and Victor paints it no problem. But if you look on the hood, you can, not sure if you can see it, but, oh, right there is a perfect spot. So if you look, you can see lines, and it's like streaks of the adhesive, and it just, man, it was so bad last night, especially on the sealer. We had to sand it out. We were throwing base coat, sanding it, and everything else is fine. It's just the hood. We're just gonna have to sand it down and re-clear it. Super unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes these things just don't turn out as well. The price is definitely gonna have to go up on this because, man, that adhesive, just trying to remove it and sand it and everything was a pain, trying to get it to work. And now, as you can see, it came back to bite us. It wasn't there yesterday, and then today, I don't know, it just shrunk up or something, but sucks, man. I don't even know why it's on the hood. The hood was not wrapped. I'm assuming maybe it was PPF, but I don't know for sure because it's just super ridiculous. I don't know what that is. Maybe ceramic coat or something. So yeah, unfortunately, that kind of sucks, but it's not really too big of a deal. We'll just sand this hood down real lightly and block it all out. Throw a fresh coat of clear. You won't be able to see any of it. Other than that, everything looks beautiful. The color looks really nice. As you can see, this quarter, the peel is identical to the roof, and this thing is all covered in that adhesive too. So I don't know what they're gonna do to get rid of that. They're probably gonna end up having to buff all these panels that don't have paint on them, and that's why I hate wrap. Wrap is just so nasty. I'm sure you can get good high quality wrap, but in this case, the wrap is just garbage, and it was peeling up. Clear coat in this area right here, we had to throw paint, and then right here I was able to actually feather it out, but it pulled the clear. And so yeah, that's, in my opinion, wrap just really sucks, and paint is a lot better. And it's very hard to find wrap that actually lays down like paint. I get that you can change the color on the fly. I mean, I guess it's cool and all, but me personally, I would never wrap a car. I like the look of fresh paint. So we're gonna redo this hood. Probably not in this episode. I wanna go ahead and let it cure for a little while, and we can't paint it yet. So I'm gonna paint all of the other body parts tomorrow or today. If I have time today, maybe I'll paint them, and that'll be in this episode. So we're gonna get this car out of the booth, and once I have time, I'll start prepping the bumpers and the little plastic pieces, and we'll start painting everything and get it done. All right, so here we have the rest of the Audi parts. I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping them. We'll get these sanded, and this is all plastic, so we're gonna seal everything up real nice. That way we get good adhesion, and then we'll start throwing down paint on it and get it cleared. And I'm gonna be painting this myself today. Victor can't have all the fun, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'll start prepping this bumper, then we'll move on to this one. And then this right here is a brand new part. I'm just gonna scuff this, and then we'll block this piece out, and everything will be ready. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so I got very good coverage on everything. Everything is looking really nice. There is a little imperfection right there and not sure what that is, so we're gonna sand that out. And this piece was brand new, so it looks amazing. Not gonna touch that. But on the bumper, I did notice the boys missed a couple of rock chips. So as you see, there's some right there, and right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix those. Might as well, we've done all this work to get this thing looking right. So about to fix all these. Oh, and there's some big ones right there, wow. So we're gonna go ahead and get all this fixed up, and then we'll go ahead and throw our last coat of paint on this all. Throw a little control coat, make sure there's no clouds, and then we'll go ahead and clear coat everything. So let's go ahead and fix all this and then get started. All right, we got the chips all fixed and we got this part sanded out. So let's get some base on here and then we'll clear and I'll let you guys see how it turned out. All right, guys, as you can see, the parts turned out beautiful. There's no trash, no runs, nothing. I'm so happy. These parts right here are ready to go straight back to V-Tune. So stay tuned for the next episode. We do have a couple little pieces of trash to buff out on the Audi. And then obviously the hood mistake, which really wasn't even our mistake. It was just a really weird thing going on with that glue. So stay tuned to see how we tackle that. Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. We'll just block it out. If we can get it out in the clear, that would be amazing. That way we just have to re-clear it and not have to throw any other color. But stay tuned for that. We'll be dropping another episode on that. I'm really happy with the results. Big shout out to Victor and big shout out to Ben and Jake for bringing it ready for paint. Nah, I'm just kidding. You know, he's my bro. Got to mess with him a little. So stay tuned for the next episode, guys. Hope you're enjoying the content. If you are, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Stick around, hit the bell so you don't miss out. You can also share our content if you want, or follow us on Instagram at motorhead.co. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all the love and support in the videos, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.